All right, last part of chapter 7. Let's go. Number 29. KLMN is a rectangle. Find the values of x and y. So anytime you see the word rectangle, I want you to think, by definition, 4 right angles. These 4 right angles exist because it says the word rectangle. Then it says to find the values of x and y. So the first thing I notice is that x is located at a right angle. So what can I do with the 2x minus 10? I can set that equal to 90. So 2x equals 100, and then x equals 50. So who can I get rid of? This one. This one. Okay, but a 33% chance is better than a 20% chance. So what we're doing right now is we're practicing our multiple choice test taking skills. Okay, so now I just need to solve for y. So where do I see a y? I see a y at nk, and I see a y at nl. What do I know about the opposite sides of a rectangle? Those are congruent. So I can set 3y plus 21 equal to 5. That should be an 11. I don't know if y'all can tell, but it printed on the border. My bad. So now we've got 2y equals 30. Let's see. Move the 2y over. That's equal to 32. So y is going to be equal to 16. So which of these say that y is 16? A. So this is going to be A is my answer. Okay. And only 2 of those said A, or only 2 of those said y is 16. So I actually would have been able to narrow this down to a 50-50 shot had I solved for y instead of for x first. All right, in this trapezoid, what do we know about a trapezoid? A trapezoid has one set of parallel lines, and it says what are K, L, and N, M. Those are going to be bases. Are they anything else? They're definitely not the legs. You can't be a base and a leg in a trapezoid. They're not consecutive angles because those are side leans. That's 2 letters, not 1, so definitely not angles. So we're going to go ahead and cross that one out because those are not angles. Those are not diagonals by trade either, and so that's not going to be none of these. It's going to be B, which is just going to be bases. Those are the parallel sides. Those are my bases in that shape. What value would make this shape a trapezoid? So A is 3x. That sits on this yellow base. Let's see, D is 5x minus 20. That sits on this blue base. Those are not congruent to each other, but those are same side interior angles, so they should add up to 180. So 3x plus 5x minus 20 have a sum of 180. So 8x equals 200. So x is going to be equal to 25, I believe. I'm going to type that in just to make sure. Yes, it is. Okay. All right, so that's going to be C. All right. Another trapezoid, find the measure of angle B, which is this one right here. It sits on the same base as this one right here, so those are going to be congruent to each other. Go ahead and mark that. And the isosceles trapezoid, ooh, gives me a fancy vocabulary word. What does isosceles mean? It just means that these legs are congruent. These green legs are going to be congruent. And that also means that the ones that sit on the same base are going to be congruent to each other. So these 2 red ones, A and D, are going to be congruent. The 2 black ones are going to be congruent. And so if this is 110, this piece is 110 as well. And we want to find angle B. Okay, so now I know that these add up to 180. Those are same side interior angles, just like in a trapezoid. So what is 180 minus 110? That is going to give me 70 for this blue angle B. And that would be the same thing for angle C if it had asked for it. So because it told me isosceles, I knew the legs were congruent, and then that meant that the base angles were congruent as well. Okay. All right, another trapezoid. We're all about trapezoids, so you can tell this last section has a few trapezoids in a row and then a kite. So it says to find the length of K to L, which is this piece right here, in this trapezoid. And I noticed that H to I is a midpoint. Or a mid-segment, because I've got a midpoint here and a midpoint here. That means that that is the mid-segment. And then here's my other base. So let me go to a different color, blue. So yellow plus blue, those are the bases. Yellow and blue are the bases. The pink is the mid-segment. We learned a formula that said that if you average yellow and blue, then it is going to be equal to pink. Another way to say that is that base 1 plus base 2 is going to be 2 times the mid-segment. So here's my mid-segment. Here's my base 1. Here's my base 2. So that's going to be 4x plus 1 plus 27. It's going to be equal to the pink mid-segment, which is 2 times that mid-segment, 5x plus 2. So we've got to use some distributive property here. So that's my mid-segment. And so that's going to be 4x plus 28 equals 10x plus 4. I'm going to get my variables on the same side. I get 6x equals 24, so x equals 4. Now, here's the problem. Y'all, it does not say what is the value of x. It says find the value of KL. A lot of people are going to try to circle B, and they're going to get it wrong, even though they did really, really, really good math up in here. All this section, they did good math. So make sure you're answering the question. It doesn't say what is x. It says what is the value of KL. So where is KL? Right here. So we have to know what x is. I'm going to do 4 times 4 plus 1. 16 plus 1 is not 4. It is 17. So be careful. Make sure you know what the question is asking for. This is the same case on the ACT where a lot of people can do good math, and it's just that they didn't fully read the question. So that should be D, because it says what is the value of KL. It doesn't ask for x. If it asked for x, we'd say 4. It doesn't ask for x. It asks for KL. All right, last one. RSTU. RSTU is a kite. That's important. If it's a kite, boom, these are perpendicular. And then it creates little baby blue right triangles that are congruent. And it creates the yellow right triangles that are congruent. This yellow one and this yellow one. Okay? All right, what else do I know about a kite? It says, what is the length of RV? So I'm looking for this purple piece right here. Who is that the same as? It's the same as this one right here. And there's a piece that is 10. So let's mark that. This piece is 10. Who else is going to be 10? It's already got it marked as congruent for us. This piece is going to be 10 as well. So this is going to be both of those purples. It's equal to both of those purples. Okay, so what do I want you to notice? I want you to notice that this, oh goodness, y'all. This creates a right triangle. Let me go back to blue. This creates a right triangle in which we've got 2 out of the 3 pieces. So I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem on this right triangle. I'm going to say that x squared plus 8 squared is going to be equal to that hypotenuse, 10 squared. So then x squared is going to be equal to 100 minus 64, which is 36. So what is the square root of 36? That is going to give me 6. Now let's pause. Oh, hold on. That is what x is. X is equal to 6. Y'all, I'm catching myself you just check yourself before you wreck yourself. X is equal to 6. What is the length of RV? Y'all had a math teacher in high school who made me slow down and check it off when I found what it was actually asking for. What is the value of x? 6. Is that what it asked me for? No. It asked me for what is RV. Okay, now in this picture, R to V, I've marked with an X. So is that the answer? Yes, because it's just a single X. There's not an expression there. So that should, in fact, be C. But just go slow and be careful and make sure you're solving for what they actually ask you for. And that is all of Chapter 7. Thank you for watching.